All right, Astragon versus Krone. So what's at stake here is the winner will play Cortiva for a chance at securing a quarterfinal spot, and the loser will move into the losers bracket and have a little bit tougher road to get there. More games overall that you'll have to play. Yeah, no news,
Absolutely,
Weatherman,
Belden.
on how Season 4 of FS22 or FSL will work. Rather, we don't know whether it'll be on 19 or 22 really yet. It's just pure speculation at this point. If we announce something, well, we will announce something, but it won't be until early next year, I would imagine. So nothing to share at this time, though. As you guys could understand, we're focused pretty solely on these championships and wrapping up season 3 when it comes to FSL, and then with Farm Sim, of course, focus is all on getting 22 launched smoothly and as best as possible.
So we got some lineup for first bale here. BamBam doing the cutting with, who was that behind it? Phillip going behind it. And Jackaroo bringing in the first bale for Krone. How much is he going to get on this? 352. This should be a pretty good first bale if he does the flick. He's not. Oh, he has stopped really nicely. 127 point first bale for Krone.
Pretty
Astragon
good.
coming in now with theirs. Oh, with a beautiful flick for 120 points.
They needed that nice little flick there too to close that gap and not, let it get even further away from them. So nice bit of work there by Phillip for Astragon.
Phil, did you say that? Somebody did use the Manitou forklift yesterday.
I think that's the joke here.
Yeah, I think that's the joke.
But yeah, Rumble, eventually, season 4, we don't really know how to predict how COVID is going to behave, if it behaves. Up to this point, it doesn't know how to behave. But, Alex and I would want to get in-person events, especially ones we can go to again. Although the travel is a lot further for me. The long-term goal, really, I think, for me is to see it grow in North America, and those would be the events that I would then be taking part in just because the time matches up better. But, that's more of a long-term goal. So more short-term, if Season 4 starts early next year, it'll come down to travel restrictions and the state of COVID and how the world's operating at that time, I guess. But, in an ideal world, of course, we would be there in person. We'd be doing these events with the players there, with both the English and German casters there. But this is just what we have to deal with at the time. So, yeah, I would love to, and I'm sure I will one day, but I can't really predict when that's going to be, sadly. Good morning,
Yay,
DJ Merlin.
DJ Merlin says my mic sounds not bad considering I had a Windows update last night and was therefore slightly worried this morning.
Not too bad.
Oh, man. Both teams, yeah, we've got Bale Multiplier and Bale Drop. Neither team is going to go for that at this point. It's not worth taking their time out for this from what they're doing. And neither team has really done many extra bales at the moment. Single bale advantage for Krone, but I think that's partly due to... Oh! Krone did go for the bale pickup. And as a result, Astragon do need to respond and have done so. I am slightly surprised by that. But a single bale is a single bale. And yeah, they needed to make sure that that advantage did not go unchallenged. Both teams lining up now at the 10-minute mark. And Astragon are dropping their grain. Krone are not.
Let's see if they actually take advantage of this, though. Yeah, they must be bringing the harvesters in, from the look of that.
Yeah, looking at that positioning from Krone, they're bringing the harvesters in. So now we'll get to see, will that pay off? Will the grain multiplier hit at 8 minutes? If it does, I think that Astragon are going to be in trouble.
Rocker found it, the Walkabout Mother Bins. Yeah, it's a very interesting company, Walkabout. The owner is from Australia originally, but it is a company here in the U.S. So that's why you got like the kangaroo with the American flag like overlaid on it,
Ah,
logo. I learned that little bit from a farmer who actually knows the people from Walkabout because they were going to get a demo of a piece of the equipment. But yeah, those things are wild. We talked a bit about it yesterday. I don't want to do too much FS22 talk on the stream
no.
today because this is about FSL. But yeah, that thing had to be built from the ground up because it's not just like they could take the previous knowledge they had of building trailers into that, because it's a complete monster of a machine and required some special attention. So our developers and artists had a fun time getting that one into the game. So I hope you guys enjoy it for some side of the field dumping if you're working on big fields, especially because you're gonna need a big field to fill those things. We got 9 minutes just about to go in this one. And I'm just waiting on Krone here. Like, they've got the bale advantage, but right now the multiplier definitely against them.
They really have the bale advantage. They've got 8 bales on the field. I know that they're trying to just press as many as possible, but they've got a 2.9 multiplier at the moment.
Right.
They've got all of that bale advantage. Just throw a couple of them in. You know, take the baler down there when they get near the cell near the barn, and throw a couple in if they
Here comes
can.
one of the harvesters now for Krone into the silo area. So they're going to be wanting to deliver grain soon. I think they're going to wait to see if they could potentially get a multiplier, a grain multiplier here with the 8th minute drop before they start emptying this. Here comes MarschellMaiden here. And it's silo closed and speed up. So actually filling it up and then hitting silo closed on Astragon could be a stroke of genius here.
Or just
for Krone, or if Astragon were to get it as Krone are selling, but I don't think that's going to happen. Astragon
Astragon really needs to get that silo closed, give themselves a massive advantage, and go and drop bales. It's too late now.
Krone are grabbing it. They've both grabbed it, so it's going to stay at 2-2 then. So that actually works out better for Astragon because Krone could have taken the advantage with this amount of grain. Look at that. It's 2-2,
no
and they still have 2 full ideals that they're emptying now into the Horge.
Do Astragon have any grain? Is the question. And Astragon have just dropped their trailer off. There must be grain in that trailer. Otherwise, they are just at a massive disadvantage overall.
Morning, Manda. Good to see you again. Welcome back. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. We're just really getting started. This is our second matchup of the day, and we have 10 total in a day, I believe. We got 5 games in each bracket, so there is a lot more action still to come today. 167 to 160, Krone in the slight lead. The silo closed drop is going to be ending in about 20 seconds for Astragon and 25 seconds for Krone. So it's going to be interesting. Krone definitely, I think, have the grain advantage here, at least at the barn. Astragon could probably even things up in that multiplier. MarschellMaiden getting back over.
And Krone have made a mistake. They've blocked their access to the silo with the combines.
Yeah,
and it looks like Astragon are going to unload first with their remaining grain.
There we go. Well, corrected by MarschellMaiden.
All out of position. And here we go. Dueling grain unloading. Slightly later because both teams have closed silo. That could have gone really badly for Krone had Astragon been able to close off
And we're even.
them from unloading quicker.
We are completely
it's 2
even.
to 2.
Yep. So it's going to come down now. Like Krone have an 8-point lead. They have the bale advantage. So if it's going to go bale for bale the rest of the way, this is going to go to Krone. Astragon need to make sure they score every single bale they have, and they need to hope for a couple of mistakes here and there from Krone. 247 now to 180, so even up on the bales now, but a nice little lead for Krone.
Oh, and BamBam's unloaded that one, and it's gonna fall. He's gonna run out and grab another. He'll get
costly.
that in later, but that's not good.
Yeah, and where are the Anderson loaders right now is what I want to know. It looks like for Krone, theirs is off in the distance there. They may have just been picking it up, to be honest. So much work was put in by them of getting the grain to the silo and then getting the harvesters there. And then, of course, silo closed hit, and they had to take the tractor away and get back to baling for a little while. So just a little bit of disruption here and there, too. Has slowed Krone down, which is good news for Astragon, but they also need to get these bales in via the Anderson loader in a big bunch soon. Multiplier switches, the super drop does nothing. Both teams at a 2-to-2 multiplier. So kind of an unfortunate super drop there. Both teams will be ignoring that, I would imagine. They'd be silly not to.
And now Astragon coming in with a full Anderson trailer. Nothing there for Krone at the 3.5 minute mark, other than the 3 bales that STR has just bought in. Seems they're behind on getting bales picked up with their loader. That is not a good situation for Krone.
Yeah, they've got to get all the bales in to win. But yeah, Astragon are looking good, and they actually... You know, if they can get all of these in now, they're definitely ahead. Like you said, they've got more here at the barn already. So BamBam just needs to focus on getting all of these on and not having them fall off. We saw one fall off moments ago for Astragon, so they need to avoid something similar happening.
Unloaded on the off that Anderson trailer a little bit close together. The ones at the end were a little bit further apart, but those first 2 were really close. And definite risk of those getting...
And Krone, SDR gets trying to bring 3 in. He's going to get stuck on the bridge if he's not careful. That bale has stopped his progress. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. He got through just in time, but he had to sacrifice a bale. Had to leave a bale behind. Now Krone are getting the Anderson loader unloaded at the barn. Meanwhile, though, Astragon are back out gathering more. So this is going to be close at the end, I think. Even though Astragon were kind of trailing in the bale count, they've gotten their bales in faster, and they have a nice little lead now with under 2 minutes to go.
And Astragon are going to be able to get another full Anderson loader back. I don't think Krone can. Krone are going to have a partial Anderson, and that is going to make a big difference to the final scores here. STR now trying to load these bales up as quickly as possible. I think you're right. I think this is going to be a close one. Yeah. Oh, and Astragon not risking it. They've bought in a partial loader, a partial bale trailer.
Yeah, they only had 14 outstanding, left. And they had a couple here. I mean, the thing is there's only 1:10 to go. And, you know, you'd rather get these 8 into the top of the barn than stay out there and bring 14 in and put them into the bottom, really. So, not a bad idea, especially because they're leading. But that lead has dwindled now with under 1 minute to go, 6:30 to 6:07.
Krone bringing in another set of bales now.
I don't think
that's not enough to win it, and MarschellMaiden having a problem unloading them as well.
Krone took a slight lead there for a moment, but then it went back in Astragon's favor, and now further ahead Astragon. 11 bales tonight. I think Astragon have flipped this, Alex.
The bales
are just not there.
Look at that timing!
Oh, well
Coming
done by
through
Phillip.
with the baler. Now,
Risky.
this baler holds 3 bales. Does he have 3 on the back, or does he just have 2? I think he just has 2.
Ooh, those might fall. Is that going to stay on? Ooh, they might just.
Just.
They've
And
stalled
this is
on.
close. 8 seconds left, and there's only 1 bale there for Krone. It's not going to go in. That
Wow.
is it.
Astragon
It's
takes
gone
the first
to
one.
Astragon.
Hello, Fowler Fellow and everyone
Good
else.
morning,
Wow,
Fowler
that was a
Fellow.
good one. That one, you know, with when the 8-minute
That was
drop hit and it
wow.
was silo closed. All right, similar setups again. So this is both the good thing and the bad thing about. I think that we'd be better served with a larger variety of tactics and things. So hopefully in season 4 we can find a way to make it a little bit more of a variety of what teams go with. As we're now in the mad dash towards the pods, we got people going for the ideal there.
Unfettered access to the ideal by the looks of things.
Is there going to be a Mr. CDP style beard?
Oh, Mr.
Beard
CDP's
DLC.
beard is epic.
So it was Krone who came away with the other ideal, looks like. They were running 2 at the moment. And John Deere in an ideal combine for Astragon, meanwhile. I
do wonder if teams have started not going for the ideal so much on the idea that it's not got such a big header and therefore doesn't have such a big amount of straw coming out. I feel like that,
and the thing is like even if you have 2 ideals, which holds 17,100 grain, the grain cart only holds 30. So
yeah,
really, it's not like you can, unless you're doing the whole take the grain cart to the silo and then emptying both into it. But even then, it doesn't give you enough of an advantage in the multiplier to make a difference. So why not get something besides 2 ideals? It's definitely not. It's still a popular tactic, but it's not as widely used as it once was. Especially because teams started to realize that if they lower the header of the larger width cutter bars on like the case and such, the John Deere as well, if you just lower those to the ground when you're in the silo area, you can pull those up too. So once teams discovered that, the ideals became a little bit less of a usual selection.
It's kind of you kind of want the other 2 combine, 2 other combines early on, and then to switch to the ideal if you're doing the overloading into the silo later. If you're doing all of that later, I think the more I talk about this, the idea of a new tactic is forming in my head. Which should be quite an interesting one, where you're just unloading the. So you start with 2 of the other combines first. It obviously requires you to have other combines, but you just leave it unloading in the middle and grab an ideal and then fill the ideal up and then take it all down to the unloading point at about the 8-minute mark.
Yeah.
Would possibly give you a bale advantage early on.
We have bridges lowered and bridges raised here at the 12th minute mark. Even though they're close to the field, I'm not sure either team sees the benefit in going for this. And if they do, the other could cancel them out easily. Man, I still need more coffee. There is a giveaway going on today, guys. It'll be ending later on today, shortly after the end of the streams. It's for a copy of Farming Simulator 22. Go enter on Gleam. Don't worry if you can't stick around to the end, because you enter your email on Gleam, you'll be contacted via email if you win. But as you'd imagine, a whole lot of competition for this giveaway. Something like 1,700 entries already when I saw earlier. So
wow.
If you want FS22, go enter. Maybe you'll be the lucky winner. Well done, man. The ideal might not be ideal.
Other options.
All right, delivering a little bit of grain. That's interesting by Krone. Delivered a little bit to get it to 2.1, but now, okay, we're having some defensive
So they're
FSL
basically
again.
just lining themselves up.
We've got some defensive farm sim league yet again.
Bale
Another standoff.
advantage this time has gone to Astragon. They have 2 bales created already, whereas, well, Krone have delivered. Oh no, that's interesting. Oh yeah, because Krone delivered their one down the bottom after Astragon, so they do have their combo counter at 1. But yes.
You know what I just thought of, because we're seeing shots of the players within the cab here, is if and when we get Farming Simulator League running on FS22, the character customization will come into play for the FSL too, and I wonder what crazy outfits we'll see players wearing in the future if that happens.
It's a pity that you can't mod the hats. I'd still like to do a VF hat in.
Yeah, I understand that. You know, we'll keep pushing that feedback to the team, but
or actually, I did have a different thought, because I like to put these things out in the stream. The ability to say, right, I wanna have a custom hat, and here's a graphic that goes on that custom hat. You know,
that's cool. Yeah, just like a logo generator type thing.
A bit like
you have a blank
spray
canvas
you get in other games.
Right. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You know, things like that, though, I have no idea how that would be implemented. If it's possible, I don't know. But if it's possible, I don't see why we couldn't do it.
I'll make sure I go and post that in the ambassadors section later.
Definitely do that. And I know that you're not the only one as well that has said they'd like to see that, especially for content creators and the like. You know, because you already have your existing branding, and so it would make sense for those sorts of scenarios for it to be possible. So who knows what the future holds? A Finnish hat mod for PC on the Mod Hub. Really? I don't think I've seen that.
Did I see right? I think I see right. I thought I saw a cowboy hat.
There's a cowboy hat mod, but it's like a scripted. It's like a scripted.
No, not a mod. I'm fairly sure I saw a picture of FS22.
Oh yeah, there's a cowboy hat in the character.
With a cowboy hat.
Yeah, there's one now, like in the game, in the character customization screen. Yeah. Oh, grain multiplier here, and direct delivery. I mean, both teams are probably not gonna harvest anymore. Okay, why are you driving by that with grain sitting at the silo?
They have got a player at the silo, and BamBam has just driven past the grain multiplier.
And then here Krone are gonna get it. And now BamBam's running back.
That's a waste of time.
Yeah, but at the same time, now this is gonna last a few seconds longer. But Krone has a 1.6 multiplier on this compared to a 1.5, so Krone, with all of this grain here as well, I think is going to end up with a slight advantage of maybe that 2.1 to 1.9 again that we've seen a couple times this weekend. I think we're going to see something similar here for Krone as an advantage.
And that's not good.
Spilling a little bit of grain, not good at all.
I'm keeping an eye on the time here because I'm trying to see if both teams finish emptying their grain. How long before this timer runs out both teams finish emptying their grain, because this will tell me exactly how useful Archimedes + is under this in this situation.
Yeah, Astragon spilling a little bit of their grain doesn't help either here, because it's already going to be against them, and he needs to hurry up and get this into the silo too while they have the multiplier. They're going to be even worse off, and now he's starting to dump it in.
This is not. Yeah, this is a bad mistake from Astragon at the moment.
Now, I
5
do
seconds.
think
He
that
is
we're
not
being
getting
proved
it
wrong
all
a little
out.
bit. That Archimedes actually was useful in that situation, or he probably doesn't
should-
get it all sold. But yeah, it's actually a 2.2 to 1.8 advantage for Krone, and this is not good news for Astragon. Although Astragon right now have 25 bales to 14. They're trailing by 55 points. But they have enough bales there, even with the multiplier advantage, to make that up, I believe. So this is going to be another interesting final 5 minutes between these two teams. I really can't call it at this point.
It's the advantage seems to be in Krone's court, but that those extra bales, those really could come heavily into play if Astragon is able to get them into their barn and get them scoring. And STR is out there grabbing bales again, trying to fill that manure fork he's got.
I like that idea, Amanda. Who knows what we could see in the FSL in the future? That's not a bad idea at all.
Oh, wow, compacting a bunker silo for FSL. Lots of driving back and forth. Oh.
All right. I want to
This
see
is-
like a good super drop here could flip this match at the moment. Give us something good, game. Bless us, RNG gods,
Yeah.
with a good super
Here we
drop
go.
here. It is bale withering. Well, not the most ideal.
Unless that's a large number of bales. That's
If it's a-
not
Yeah, if it's a large number of bales for Krone especially, that would be huge. But it
one
looks like
bale.
one for each team. So not really worth going all the way out to just to delete one bale on the other side when you could just press 2 of your own and make that same thing up.
Yeah. Here comes BamBam. 308 to 211.
This is going to be another close finish. Here comes a load of bales on the Anderson loader for Astragon.
4 points for every bale that Krone delivers. That is just such an uphill struggle. Doesn't seem like a lot, but you multiply that by 14 bales, and that is, a lot.
Yeah. What is
Well,
that? 50... I can't do the math again. Not enough coffee.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math at the moment.
Someone
28, 56 points.
I almost said 56, but I was like, I don't think that's right. It's too early for me to
Yeah, it's 14, 28.
be right.
And 28 doubled is 56. So, yeah.
So they basically would have to do, like, 3 extra bales. Or 4 even to really make up for it.
Only because I play Dungeons and Dragons and have to do lots of maths in my head.
2 minutes to go. Astragon do have the lead at the moment. And last time in the first matchup with these two, what it came down to was Krone couldn't get the bales in time.
And
because of that,
spilling bales.
Yep, there goes one off.
Oh,
that's going to go off too, though, for Astragon now. And that one's going off. So both teams having bales fall off now at the end. It's now even on the bale count, and that's bad news for Astragon. But again, Krone don't have theirs in, and another one falls off for them. They've got to get these bales in.
499. It's this the multiplier is kicking in now. You can see for every bale that Astragon is putting in, just 4 more points going up for Krone, and they're having trouble keeping pace as a result.
I just think Astragon, though, with Virex bringing in another partial load, they have more bales at the barn with a minute to go. Okay, there we go. There it comes. So it's pretty even then. So it's going to come down to Who doesn't drop any now? I think the multiplier has given Krone enough of a gap and advantage to win, but they still got to make sure they get all of these on without any issues.
How did it go so wrong for Astragon with that grain? That is...
Yeah, the grain multiplier just happened to be 1.6 to 1.5 for Krone, and then Astragon spilled a little bit as well.
Yeah.
And it's been an uphill fight for them for sure. And
Krone now lining themselves up to drop those last few bales in, and yeah, it is just pulling away, and Astragon do not have the bales there to respond to this.
Yeah,
745 to 800 is
844 now, almost 100 point win
that
in
is
the
how
end
this is ending.
by Krone. I think that's a fair result. These two teams, it's kind of been, flipped in the second of the best of three between these two. Like both teams are really evenly matched, and
yeah, if you're not doing that, if you're going to dump grain at 12 and 8, there is no reason to have Archimedes.
All right, here we go.
Krone pulling the forklift strategy this round. They didn't actually take the forklift in all fairness.
Which is good. I'm okay with this.
I will say, Delta Vector, this is not so much the English dub as the English commentary. Kermit and I have no idea what the German casters are saying either. So, yeah, we're not dubbing them. We are giving you our own commentary on today's going on. Hence the reason why I can say hi to you in the chat here over on Twitch.
Oh, some air in the John Deere harvester there for Virex. That's quite impressive.
So looks like the ideal has gone to Krone. Yeah, Krone running 2 ideal combines off the bat. Will be interesting to see how this affects the number of bales they produce.
I think a good first bale here is important for both teams too. Like these two teams are so closely matched that by the end of it, all said and done, it might come down to the first bale here. As Jackaroo approaches the barn, going to try the drive-by, is he? Nope. Nope, going to go for the safe approach. But you know what? Pretty good approach, and 128 is pretty solid.
And a 126 with a good flick.
Okay, Phillip. All right. So not much in it. Well, if Krone win this by 2 points, remember this moment early in the rounds. Yeah. Phillip back out straight away and getting to baling, getting more bales pressed. Long way to go still. The rounds go by quickly, but when you're playing, I can speak from experience now, like the 15 minutes can seem like an eternity at the beginning of a round, but then time flies by and all of a sudden you look up and you're running out of time and you need to get bales delivered.
It's one of those things where I think you hit the 12-minute mark, and the 12-minute mark seems to take forever, and then you hit 12 minutes and suddenly it's 4 minutes, and you kind of go, where did the middle of this game go?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, we are coming up to that 12-minute mark. 30 seconds left to go, and we'll get our first super drop. Or our first power-up drop. And it will be interesting to see what that gives us.
5,000 extra grain at the moment for Krone. Bales are both at 2 to 2. Yeah, the telehandlers, that's a pretty good point that Rocker TV has brought up in chat. The nice thing, too, about those telehandlers is they are speedy. 70 kilometers per hour they go. And that is joint fastest with the bigger tractors, the Fendt 1050 and the Deutz-Fahr 9340. But those two tractors are a lot beefier and a lot heavier. So the telehandlers are quick and nimble. And, of course, have the telescopic arm as well, which is helpful at the conveyor belt.
Krone have gone for the grain multiplier. I was fully expecting Astragon to run back and grab it, but they are ignoring it. And
this could be
they
a
need
mistake
to.
if they
Krone
don't get it.
dropping this, much great.
There
There we go.
is.
BamBam's running for it. And
10
Astragon
seconds to
now
spare.
need to go and deliver all the grain they've got. And in fact, they are not. It's going up at the moment, not down. And now it's going to go down because Phillip is there.
With the Kappa emote, bringing in the lovely sarcasm. Forklift OP, please nerf.
It absolutely is, you know, and this is why most teams, you know, look at it and go, "Oh, that's too OP for me to even go anywhere near." I would love somebody to come up with a strategy for it. It would be awesome because it costs no points to use.
Even Team Manitou looks at the Manitou forklift and goes, "No, I don't think so. Sorry."
I think the only way you could use it is if you were in a situation where you didn't need a third piece of equipment at the end. But I can't think of a situation where you don't need a third piece of equipment in the end.
Even then, like if you don't have any points to spend, just get the Fiat. It goes 45 kilometers in reverse, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
that would
I've actually learned though, like if you don't pick a tractor in your first two picks that has a stacker on the front, the game forces you into the skid steer or the forklift, something with the ability to lift bales. Yeah, I mean you don't see that happen in official tournaments, but
yesterday then.
Yeah, I mean, but they picked it first. Didn't they?
Oh, did they?
It wasn't the last pick. Yeah, it was the first pick. Phillip is driving the Rosselmash back to collect his Valtra tractor that he left at the top of the hill at the beginning of the round. 9 minutes and some change to go in this one. The winner moves on to play Cortiva immediately following this match. And the winner of that will move on as the first team out of Group C into the quarterfinals. So lots at stake for Krone and Astragon at the moment.
I'm just trying to see if you didn't take Archimedes and you took the Fiat 1300 instead. That would save you 3 points on the points pick. You could get Easy Stacker or Runner with that, but I'm not sure either of those are enough of an advantage. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else you could pick anywhere else.
I mean, Easy Stacker is something we saw used a lot more early in the season. I don't really understand why it's gone completely away. It does take some time to back that thing up perfectly. It would require someone to be really good at it and really speedy at it without any errors to make it worth it, I would say. But at the same time, it's not a bad shout.
I think it opens those doors. It means you can put
Bale
stuff
multiplier
on.
and Bale drop here, Alex. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah, this could be huge, especially SDR has 3 on the front, and I think he's going to go for the Bale multiplier. Oh, that was a smooth collection of the drop there, too. In and out, no bales fell off the front, and the tractor kind of just kept moving. Well done, STR. And now going to take these 3 in, and they're also delivering grain at the same moment. So this is going to be a good bit of points here for Krone.
Picking stuff up as you move, that's when actually head start would come in really useful. Yeah, and BamBam picking up, and again a smooth drop, smooth pick up.
So it's actually,
look at how close those are together for MBR and for Krone. In fact, those are 3 bales that are going to score 27 points each, plus the bale multiplier.
Well, and Astragon has an advantage. Astragon has a 1.6 to 1.5 in the multiplier, but they also need to get bales in and take advantage of this. And those are going to
speed up
37 points per. This one's going to be slightly less because it's switched back now. Astragon delivering grain.
Huge amount of points for every
Astragon needs to get some bales in now because they're going to get even more points. Astragon, where are you? Get bales to the barn and quick. You've got 40 seconds. Oh, okay, they are there, but is it just one?
A bale.
Oh, that's not good. Not nearly as good. Yeah, so Krone scored 37 on one or two of them, and then 32 on the next, was it? 34 or something like that. So definitely a better moment there for Krone. And they're bringing more in. They're going to score 20 points apiece on. Krone giving themselves a nice little lead with just under 6 minutes to go.
Oh, and BamBam throwing bales about. That is not good for him either.
Another one about to go in for Krone.
Beginning to buckle under the pressure a little bit here.
They're going to need a good super drop to go their way, I feel like, at this point, because the multiplier's even. They only have one more bale than Krone, and they're trailing by 109
and in
points.
Fact, they don't even have that now. They are even on bales, and there's 100 points between them. This is
now they're behind on
Krone
bales.
Now ahead. This is not good news.
Morning,
for
Matza.
Astragon.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Matza.
Matza from Die Ackerfleur, who we saw the 16 seed, went up against Trelleborg yesterday and gave a good showing. I'm glad they got to participate in this tournament. They won that little mini play-in tournament. Hope you're doing well, Matza. And the new record holders of most bales, despite losing to Trelleborg in that first round yesterday. 51 bales they were able to deliver.
Impressive amount of pressing. That was pun, actually, not initially intended.
Yeah, not intended pun, but, you know, a happy
see, this
accident.
Situation
Ooh,
here,
that's a shaky bale for Krone.
That would be when the easy stacker would be a useful thing for them.
Right. I think the good thing about easy stacker as well is, like, it's a good way to get a chance at a combo, a bale-tastic at least, but also you're scoring 20 points per if you're at a 2-time multiplier. So Lord Baylor for 2 bales. I'm also fairly sure
with the easy stacker you can put 4 bales on that conveyor at the same time.
Right.
You could score points a lot quicker with easy stacker. Just normally stacking on. That is yeah, I think there's a better reason to have easy stacker than there is to have Archimedes.
BamBam's going for Lord Baylor here, and this is something that Astragon needed. They needed it desperately. But I don't think it's going to be enough, to be honest. No, they are just too far behind. There's no real advantage that exists for them either. Hey, thanks, Kurt.
Did Astro forget to actually bail or something?
I'm not sure what's happened, but this is definitely going to be the biggest gap in all 3 games we've had. Astragon really strong in the first game. Just fell short.
Astragon trying to position, BamBam trying to position himself to make a
counter play here
for the counter. And MBK
I think he's done it a bit early, though.
Single bales on.
Yeah, he's wasting time sitting there to counter, and he's actually now
done it. He's countered it, but without getting the extra points. He could have done with the extra points.
I still don't think it would be enough. Yeah, this is just a huge gap right now. It's definitely bad news for Astragon and good news for Krone, who will look highly likely with 2 minutes and some change to go of advancing to play Cortiva in the next match for a chance at the quarterfinals.
$380 to $619, and a bale has fallen off for Krone. Not that making little mistakes like that are going to cost them that much at this point with this much of a lead, but yeah, I cannot see how Astragon can reply to this in a minute and a half. They've just not got the bales there. Oh, and that's not going on there very easily either. We are SCR getting into there, and Phillip now bringing in some extra bales. So Astragon do now have bales coming on. They cannot load bales like that onto the conveyor.
Oh,
they cannot. This has all gone to pieces for Astragon at the moment. Krone keeping cool under pressure as Astragon now are just trying to get points in any way they can.
Are they going to go for a combo here, maybe?
They are going for a combo. They are doing an absolute Hail Mary.
Fantastic. They should have pushed more into the bottom and tried for the bale pressive there as well. Because now it's been reset and chance missed. But even that, I mean, the bale pressive would have been 100 points. That would have closed the gap a little bit. It still wouldn't have been enough, though. What's happened to Jackaroo? Stuck in the barn door
got
there.
Himself a little bit jammed under there.
Got that weight on the front of the Vulture stuck, I believe.
I do think that the way they did that, you know, a completely unexpected way of doing that, was a great tactic. I think it works well. Putting a couple of bales on the top at the same time.
SDR now with the showmanship.
SDR pushing those in directly as the time comes to an end. And
thanks, Giova. Good morning to you.
There we go.
Well, congrats to Krone. They're going to move on to face off against Cortiva. Very impressive. Astragon played really strong through the first two. That was definitely the weakest of their three. And they need to just regroup now because they've got every bit of a chance of advancing through that loser's bracket.